My fiancée dropped a bomb on me 11 days before our wedding. She casually mentioned she was meeting her ex-boyfriend for closure, and that she needed it in order to marry me with a clean slate. I told her, in no uncertain terms, that I wasn't okay with it. She went anyway. That same afternoon, her best friend posted an Instagram story from a luxury hotel rooftop pool. There, clear as day, was my fiancé in a brand new bikini, laughing next to the same ex, his arms slung possessively behind her back. When I showed her the evidence later, she sighed dramatically, rolled her eyes, and told me I was making a mountain out of a molehill. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I simply screenshotted everything and sent it to her entire family group chat. By the next morning, her parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins were on my doorstep pleading with me to forgive her. If you ever want to see someone's real character, watch how they react the moment you tell them no. Here's exactly how it unfolded. I was working from home that day, buried in spreadsheets for a client deadline, when Lauren poked her head into my office. "Hey, babe, quick heads up, I'm grabbing coffee with Evan before meeting the girls for lunch." Evan, the guy she dated for 5 years through college and beyond. The one she swore was ancient history the day we met. I stopped typing and turned my chair toward her. "Why?" She was already halfway out the door, keys jingling. "Just tying up loose ends. He's moving out of state soon and wanted to say a proper goodbye. I think it'll help me start our marriage without any baggage." I kept my voice level. "I'm not comfortable with that. Not 11 days before our wedding." She paused, one hand on the doorframe. "It's literally just coffee, Peter. If it's just coffee, it can wait until after we're married. Or never. I'm asking you not to go." She gave me that familiar eye roll I'd seen 100 times when I dared to disagree with her. "You're being dramatic. I'll be 2 hours, tops. You'll see it's nothing." "Lauren, I'm serious. Please don't do this." "I'm going," she said, tone final, and the door clicked shut behind her. For the first time in 3 years together, I had drawn a crystal clear boundary, and she had sprinted straight across it. I tried to go back to work, but focus was impossible. Out of habit, I opened Find My, something we'd shared years ago for safety, and watched her little blue glide across the city. It never went near any coffee shops. It stopped at the rooftop pool of the downtown Westlake Hotel. That I didn't blow up her phone. I just took a screenshot and waited. 2 hours later, her best friend Jess posted a boomerang of margaritas with the caption "Emergency Girls Day because wedding stress is real," face with tears of joy. In the background, for half a second, you could see Lauren in a red bikini I'd never seen before, sitting thigh to thigh with a guy whose distinctive tribal arm tattoo I recognized instantly from old photos. "Evan, screenshot. Saved." Lauren breezed in at 5:47 p.m. carrying boutique shopping bags like trophies. "Hey, how was your day?" she sang. "Fine. How was coffee with Evan?" Her smile flickered for a split second before she recovered. "Super quick, super boring. Then I met Jess and we shopped. Got some cute stuff for the honeymoon." She lifted a Victoria's Secret bag as proof. I held up my phone. First the Find My screenshot showing the Westlake Hotel. Then Jess's story zoomed in on Evan's tattoo and Lauren's unmistakable side profile. "Want to try that answer again?" She dropped onto the couch like her legs had given out. For one brief moment I thought tears were coming. An actual apology. Instead she exhaled loudly, annoyed. "Peter, it was one final goodbye. That's it. You're completely overreacting." One final goodbye in swimwear at a 5-star hotel pool. Nothing happened, she snapped. I needed this to close that chapter so I can be fully yours. You're making it weird. I specifically asked you not to meet him. You lied about where you were going. You brought home props to cover your tracks. They're not props. I really bought things. She started digging through bags, pulling out lace lingerie like it proved her innocence. I just stared at her. The woman I'd proposed to, the woman I'd put on a mortgage with, the woman who had just looked me in the eye and decided my boundary was optional. I need some air, I said, grabbing my keys. Peter, if you walk out over this, don't bother coming back tonight. She warned that I drove straight to my best friend Mike's place. Explained everything while he poured 2 very generous whiskeys and listened without interrupting once. When I finished, he asked, "So what are you going to do?" "I know what I'm not going to do," I said. "I'm not marrying her." I crashed on his couch, ignored the escalating texts. First anger, "You're being immature." Then fake concern, "Where are you?" "I'm worried." Then waterworks, "Please just come home, we can fix this." Next morning, before she even woke up, I went to the bank and removed her from every joint account, accounts I had opened and funded long before we met, called every credit card and revoked her authorized user status. Phoned my lawyer about the house we were under contract for. $50K earnest money from my separate investment account gave me leverage. Called my parents and warned them the wedding might be off. Then, and only then, did I go nuclear. I posted my own Instagram story. The find my screenshot plus Jess's pool video side by side. Caption: Turns out coffee for closure now means bikinis and hotel pools with the ex you were explicitly asked not to see. Wedding is cancelled. Tagged both families, the entire wedding party, and a few mutual friends for good measure. My phone exploded. Lauren called 19 times in 8 minutes. Her mom, her dad, her cousins, everyone. I let it all go to voicemail. That evening, knowing she had a bridesmaid dinner, I went back to our apartment to pack. Clothes were thrown everywhere, drawers hanging open. She had clearly torn through the place in a panic. I was zipping my duffel when the front door slammed open. Lauren stood there, mascara rivers down her cheeks, hair wild. "How could you embarrass me like that in front of literally everyone we know?" she screamed. "Interesting choice of priority," I said calmly. "You're more upset about people finding out than about what you actually did. Nothing happened, Peter. It was innocent. Like the innocent lie about lunch with the girls? Or the innocent shopping bags you used as an alibi. I was going to tell you everything eventually. After the wedding, you mean? When leaving would cost me half of everything plus alimony." Her face changed. Tears dried up instantly. "You'll regret this," she hissed. "My dad is a retired judge. You think you can just walk away from the house, the deposits, everything? You have no idea the hell he'll rain down on you." I picked up my bag. Actually, I ran the numbers. Losing the deposits and even the full earnest money is still cheaper than marrying someone who thinks my boundaries are negotiable. The next afternoon, I got a text from an unknown number. "This is Thomas Wilson. We need to speak. My house. 2 p.m. I knew this was coming. I arrived exactly on time. Lauren's dad answered the door himself, stone-faced. Lauren sat on the couch flanked by her teary mother. Her younger sister Rachel hovered awkwardly in the corner. Thomas didn't offer me a seat. Fine by me. I stayed standing. "Let's not waste time," he began. "This has spiraled out of control." Lauren explained it was an innocent farewell drink that got misinterpreted. Guests are arriving, deposits are non-refundable, reputations are on the line. I'm asking you, man to man, to reconsider. Lauren's mom chimed in. She knows she should have been more transparent, but ending an engagement over one afternoon. Lauren looked up with red eyes. I'm so sorry, Peter. I should have listened. Nothing physical happened, I swear. I just needed to say goodbye properly so I could be the wife you deserve. I let the silence sit for a beat, then pulled out my phone. There are a couple things Lauren forgot to mention. I opened the banking app. 2 days ago, she transferred $5,000 out of our joint savings, the furniture fund. Lauren opened her mouth, but I kept going. And last week she used our shared travel rewards card to book a hotel room, the weekend immediately after our honeymoon would have ended, in the exact city Evan is moving to. Confirmation came to my email. Rachel actually gasped out loud. Lauren's mom went pale. Thomas turned slowly to his daughter, the way only a former judge can. Is this true? Lauren crumbled into real tears this time. It's not what it looks like, but it was exactly what it looked like. The plan was obvious. Marry me, enjoy the fully paid honeymoon in Bora Bora, then sneak off for one last fling with Evan before settling into the role of perfect wife. Thomas looked at me, all the bluster gone. Peter, I owe you an apology. I clearly misread the situation. And you? I nodded. Appreciated, sir. Lauren's mom whispered. What happens now? Now I finish moving out. The wedding is canceled. I've already notified every vendor and guest. My lawyer is handling the house. Since the entire down payment came from my pre-relationship assets, we have strong grounds to exit the contract. Lauren shot to her feet. You don't get to unilaterally decide everything. Actually, I do. You decided the moment you ignored the one thing I asked of you. As I walked out, Rachel slipped out behind me. Hey, she whispered at the doorstep. I always thought she didn't deserve you. For what it's worth. I'm sorry. I smiled for the first time in days. Thanks, Rachel. 3-week update. The cancellation logistics went smoother than expected. Vendors were surprisingly kind. Many refunded portions they didn't have to. I told family who'd already flown in to treat it like a vacation on me. Half of them did and sent me photos of dinners and shows. It helped. Lauren moved out while I stayed at Mike's. Word is she's telling anyone who will listen that I'm controlling, insecure, and blew an innocent coffee out of proportion. The screenshots I posted speak louder, and most people believe their eyes. Her dad actually called a week later. Son, he said, and he'd never called me son before. You handled this with more integrity than most men manage in a lifetime. High praise from a man who used to look at me like I was dirt under his shoe. The house contract was dissolved with only a 10% penalty on the earnest money. Rumor is Thomas quietly pulled strings to make that happen. Evan apparently got fired. Turns out his company has strict policies about employees pursuing engaged women. Lauren's public meltdown tagged his employer enough times. I didn't lift a finger. And the biggest surprise, Rachel and I have become unlikely friends. She returned some of my things Lauren still had. We got coffee, actual coffee, and she filled in years of red flags I'd somehow missed. Turns out this wasn't Lauren's first rodeo. I regret going public with the screenshots? Not for a second. When someone shows you they'll lie and disrespect you the moment you set a boundary, they lose the privilege of a quiet, dignified exit. Everyone who bought plane tickets and booked hotel rooms deserved to know exactly why there was no wedding. I've started therapy. Turns out my analytical brain is great at processing hard evidence once it's in front of me, but terrible at trusting my gut when something feels off. Lesson learned. For now, I've got a new apartment, new furniture on the way, and I'm taking that Bora Bora trip solo next month. Non-refundable honeymoon suite, might as well use it. Life didn't turn out the way I planned 11 days before the wedding. It turned out better. And to the people saying I was cold or calculated in how I ended it, maybe. But when someone betrays you that deliberately, a little protective ice is the only thing that keeps you from bleeding out while you do what has to be done. That I won't apologize for refusing to be anyone's backup plan.